So I've got myself a tad bit of a problem. Not a major problem, just a tad bit of a problem. So if you guys remember last fall, I strip tilled the corn ground that is this year's soybeans. I went and planted it. Honestly, planting went pretty dang well. Was pretty happy with it. But when I had Mark come and strip till last year, I said, hey, skip one round. I want to try one pass and no till. Actually, he has a 16 row. I have a 12 row, so it's like a pass and a, whatever. A little bit more than a pass. Anyways, that pass and no till, a little bit over a pass, not doing too hot. And I don't really want to blame it all on the fact that it's no till, but we'll get out to the field and I'll show you why we're really struggling. So I'm going to take the 4-row out because we're going to try and do a little bit of replanting, but I have never used my 4-row, or I guess I haven't used my 4-row in soybeans in a long time. So, go up here. I bought these from a viewer actually quite a long time ago. I think these are for soybeans. Yeah, they have to be. Don't they? Never mind, that's not a soybean one, that's a corn one. Here we go. That's for soybeans. I bought these from a viewer actually quite a long time ago. 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I just have yet to use my little planter for soybeans. So we're going to test these things out for the first time today. And I'm not one for switching. I don't like to switch meters out. I don't like to take boxes apart and stuff. So I got myself 4 old John Deere 7000 boxes. Nothing special. But they will work for soybeans. And these will be my dedicated soybean boxes. So pretty simple. I can just take the corn ones off, put these ones on, and call it a day for the most part. Oh, I see what's wrong. There we go. Pretty simple. Here we be. We got the 4-row planter, my little Ford 1720. I know I made a video on this a couple years ago, but my grandpa gave me this little tractor when I was a kid. It's kind of my pride and joy. I love this thing. And so this was the first piece of farm equipment I ever owned, and this was the second. I had the tractor, I needed something to do with it, right? So pulled this out of a Grove. It was a 4-row 36-inch. When I was a kid, my dad and I restored it. He cut down the frame, rewelded it, and we turned it into a 4-row 30-inch. And it's done a lot of planting over the last, oh gosh, has it been 10, 15 years? Probably. I bet it's been close to 15. I don't remember what year we built it in, but it was quite a while ago. But yeah, I mean, I was in late elementary, junior high, and we had a couple of really wet years. So I'd come down to the farm and my dad would give me a list of fields to go to, and I'd hop on the 4-row and I'd just start replanting everything. And yeah, so it's been loved. You know, it used to be, the paint and everything used to be perfect, but we've used it. I don't want to say abused it. We haven't abused it, but we've definitely used it. But you gotta admit, for things like we're gonna go do today, comes in real handy. Should be good. Does it look pretty? No. Will it get the job done? Probably. So typically I have like a John Deere 250 monitor or 200, no, I think it's a 300 monitor. Anyways, I didn't bother getting that set up this year. I haven't done too much of the planter. I had a neighbor, he borrowed it for a few hours, but he didn't really care about the monitor. I just went and put in a little corn here and there. I didn't really care about it. So I'm just gonna get out and dig, make sure they're all planting and call it good. As far as population goes, so I was planting around 32,000 on corn. And based off of everything I'm reading online, these brush meters, depending on what style brush meter you have for soybeans, you either take the top population times 4 or 5. So that's either 128,000 or 160,000. And I don't know what kind of brush, I don't know how many cell brush meter I have, but I honestly don't really care. For the little bit we're gonna go replant, 128,000 or 160,000, either will be fine. I just need soybeans to come up. I'm gonna steal my digging tools from cat tractor here. I need this. Yeah, I might as well bring it, I guess. Top it off with fuel quick, and then I got a pretty long 12-mile-per-hour drive. That's what this thing tops out at. I did maintenance on this the other day. Tightened the fan belt, which I did order. The fan belt was squeaking. I did order a new one because I think it's the original fan belt. But to get by, I tightened it a little bit. Seems I got the squeaking went away. New one's on the way. Changed oil on it. I know a couple of years ago I replaced all like the transmission fluid and axle fluid and all that stuff, so that should be fine yet. This does not get that many hours put on in a year. If I was to go by hours, it would need an oil change like every 4 years. But I do it every spring. That's kind of what I do. I do it every spring. You know, we put 10, 15 hours on it, maybe, during the spring and summer. And then I blow snow with it during the winter. And then the next spring, I put new oil in it. You have to fill this thing up extremely slowly because the way that the film neck is, it comes down 90-degree angle into the tank over here. So if you have any fast spout at all, it just comes out. Luckily, I have a really crappy pump, so it doesn't go very fast to begin with. And it's only like an 8-gallon tank, so it doesn't take very long. Well, I got some shorts on because my legs need a little help. And it's hot out. Noise-canceling headphones. Yeah. Got some soybeans in the planter. Should be ready to go. So finally made it out here to the field, and there's two main problem areas in this field. So, well, to start out with, I mean, you can see where I strip tilled it. Like, beans are coming up really nicely, looks really good, and most of the field looks like this. Now, I am extremely happy with that right there. But the no-till over there, and then we have like 4 rows along the road that have had the same issue. So if you go over here, and look at all these corn stalks that are in the ditch. I put them in there yesterday. I got a backpack leaf blower and I blew them all in the ditch because there was like 3 to 4 inches of trash covering these, well, I guess these 2 rows specifically. Sometimes it got over here into this row. And the ground was just cold. I mean, the ground was freezing cold underneath here. And it's starting to warm up now that there's got some sunlight on it. And here's a couple soybeans coming up. But a lot of this, there's just nothing coming up. I mean, right here you can see, here's where I planted, and there was just nothing coming up. And I still wasn't able to get all the trash out of here, but hopefully I can put my trash strippers down on my planter, make a decent enough trench. Today, the ground should be able to get warmed up pretty dang nicely. I mean, it's already a lot warmer than it was yesterday. Actually, there's a soybean coming up down there. And there's still a chance that some of these soybeans might come up, but I think quite a few of them are dead. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make a pass here, but let's walk over to the no-till. So the reason that these 4 rows in the no-till is such a problem is that in a lot of the field, the corn stalks got knocked down when we were doing the strip till. And as you can see, like in the end rows, like there's not many corn stalks standing. And then all of a sudden you have 3 rows of corn stalks, 2 to 3 rows that are standing really strong. What happened is all the husks and everything blew during the winter, and then this acted as a snow fence. Now I know if you're below the Mason-Dixon line, you might not know what a snow fence is. Basically it's a fence that stops snow. In this case, it stopped the trash. So right here is the strip till. You can see right here, most of the corn stalks are knocked down. The soybeans are coming up really nicely. And then you get over here to the strip till. And there's just all this trash. And there actually is a bean coming up there. There's a couple coming up here and there, but not many. And if I dig my fingers here a little bit, there's nothing here. And the soil is still cold underneath. I mean, it's warmer on the top now, but still cold to the touch underneath, which all this trash not letting the sunlight through is causing an issue. So I think this no-till is going to struggle a lot because there's just so much trash. I mean, there's going to be, the population of the soybeans is going to be like 10,000, which is not enough, not even close to enough. So I don't want to blame it on the no-till, because I think if I would have came and stock chopped this and then planted into it, I think it would have been fine. If I would have stock chopped it last fall and not let everything blow in here and catch, and all these corn stalks are still standing. But the problem is that most of the field's flat and then this isn't, and yeah, it just acts like a big snow fence, caught everything. And that's why I only did, you know, one pass of it, because I wanted to learn. And I have learned. I have learned what not to do now. And we're gonna try and fix it the best we can. I mean, I'm expecting to see quite a big yield hit here come fall, come harvest time. But let's see if we can't mend it a little bit. Now I know that when I'm doing strip till or no till or whatever, I either need to leave all the corn stalks standing or they all need to come down. So what's your guys' opinion on that? Should I be stock chopping before I do strip till and no till? Or should I do exactly what I did last year, where, you know, I have all this big fluffy material, but either strip till so I knock all the corn stalks down, or go in between? My agronomist says that I should be knocking them down because he wants to keep that band as close as possible in the same spot, so that way every year the plants have access to it. But some people I know go 15 inches off to either side. So yeah, learning experience. But like I said, other than these 16 rows I'm standing in, the rest of the field looks really good. And a couple rows, like this row right here, these two rows are coming in pretty dang nice. And then you get over here, these are disasters. And this one's coming in okay, and this one's coming in okay. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of an eyesore too, yeah, because the road is right there. I am digging, and by golly, there are soybeans down here yet. I'm guessing that these ones are they're all kind of, I don't know if they're coming yet or not. Gosh, maybe the soil being warmed up, maybe there's a couple coming yet. I'm still gonna replant here. Yeah, there's one coming. There's one, oh, maybe they are pushing through a little bit yet. I'm still gonna plant. I'm still gonna definitely, I might go off to the side a few inches and just plant another one here, because I think it's gonna be pretty light, because I don't think these are all gonna make it. But I am amazed by how many I'm actually finding underneath here yet. See here, this is weird, because like there's one popping up here, there's one popping up here. They look kind of sickly. And then I start digging, and I'm not finding anything. If I get deep enough, you know, maybe it's just a couple that germinated and the rest are just that far behind. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not finding much here. Yep, definitely gonna, okay. Okay, I got soybeans in it. Got the row cleaner set down. I'm gonna probably scoot over that way a little bit. Go 30 feet, see what happens. Okay, there's one. Okay, those aren't going that deep. Something I should do this winter is I should get this planter in and, you know, do some maintenance to it. Give it a little love. It's been a while. Well, I'm happy enough with what it's doing, so say we just keep going. I mean, the row cleaners are obviously making a path for it here, so we're doing good there. I'm kind of going right next to the soybeans that are already there, so I might have done a little bit of damage to them, but I'm trying to get off a little bit further from where the other ones are. Well, this is kind of interesting. We'll see what happens here. Do a little digging, see if I'm actually seem to be getting through pretty good. There's a bean. There's another one. Okay. Where are the rest of them at? There's another one. Weirdly enough, they're actually in moisture, even though I'm not putting them very deep. There they are. This side's quite a bit deeper. I mean, they're getting in the ground. For this old 4-row planter with basically just spring downforce and some very old crappy row cleaners, I think what I'm doing, it's not hurting. It's gonna help, I think. Hopefully some of these beans can get up out of the ground. That'd be great. I might set this one deeper. I'm gonna set this one deeper. Go. That's one way to clear out the stalks, I guess. Well. I think also something that didn't help either was I reused some beans from last year, some 1.5s, an alloy number, and they do not seem to be coming up as good as a lot of the ones that were fresh this year. I don't usually, 1-year-old seed doesn't matter that much. I planted it pretty heavy, but yeah, the one Brevant and the one Pioneer number that I planted are coming up better than that one alloy number. But like I said, it was a year old and it did really good last year, so maybe I should not be reusing old soybean seed. The corn that I planted that I reused from last year is good, but yeah, the soybeans, not so much. So it's been a few days. I did some more scouting, and I think I probably have a bigger problem than I initially thought with the seed that I reused from last year. I've talked to like my dad about reusing seed, and he told me about experience that he had when he was probably my age about reusing soybean seed that was also pretty bad. So we're gonna be meeting the agronomist Stefan out here today. You guys have seen him in previous videos. And we're gonna see if I need to do more replanting than I already have, which I'm guessing the answer is gonna be yes, because it's pretty thin out here. This pass was a problem. There's so much trash here. There's like this much trash.
It blew in from the north
and
west.
then these last few, the corn stalks caught it.
Sure.
And I was gonna burn it, but I couldn't get a burn permit in time. And I wanted to beat the rain, so I took a leaf blower, I blew it all in the ditch, and then I used a 4-row and I planted another 4 rows here. So that's taken care of.
Sure.
And then the wind came the next night and blew all the corn stalks out of the ditch in everyone else's field. So it kind of worked out perfect.
Yeah, it did work out, yeah.
And then I kind of had the same issue because all these stalks are kind of put down.
Sure.
But where I had the no-till pass, they were not.
Yeah.
So I kind of went and I took the 4-row and I made a couple passes in there. But yeah, these were the 1.5 alloys that I planted last year.
Gotcha, and the end rows is obviously something different.
Yep, that's something different. So these were left over from last year. And looks a little light to me, especially in areas.
Sure.
And I did make a couple 4-row passes through here too, but I think I don't know.
Gotcha. So what were you targeting for your
I
planting
was
population?
planting heavy. I was planting like 150. I think this is where I had the 4-row.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's doubled up here.
Yep.
Okay.
What I don't understand is like, okay, we got beans here. We got beans here. Why are there no beans right here?
Good question. That might be one reason why.
Yeah, maybe they're just not in there.
Yeah.
But still, I still think it's pretty light everywhere else.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go. So some of them are still attempting to make it.
Okay.
So
Do you think it's, at this point, they're going to make it or not?
as soft as this is, I think a lot of them, the ones that are like that will.
Okay.
Because I mean, you can
Yeah,
push it right in there.
No, I thought that was another one that was not.
Just right there. So some of them will still make it. So in my mind, we're planning 140-ish or even more.
Yep.
Soybean stands can flex quite a bit, so they can make up for some stand loss pretty well.
Okay.
So my number would be anything below 90,000 is more questionable plants per acre.
Yep.
Certainly, if you get below 70, that'd be more of a candidate for replanting something.
But I mean, it's
So if you do the math backwards, about 5 plants per foot is about 90-ish thousand.
okay. And there's some places where we're definitely good.
Yeah.
And then there's some places where it is a bit thinner.
Yeah.
And honestly, this actually does look a fair amount better than I was out here a couple days ago.
Yeah. I was
So
gonna say
maybe some of them are starting to pop through.
Yeah.
Especially like here, you can see quite a bit of, these ones must just be popping through.
Right. When they're yellow like that, they just came probably last night or yesterday
Okay.
at some point. So if you can do a stand count and look, but if you got 5, my shoe's a foot long.
Yep.
So
1, 2, 3.
you
There is 5 there.
Yep. So I think you're fine if it's like that.
Yeah. Okay. See, because like this,
And see how he's
these
pushing.
were not there a
Right.
couple days ago.
And even there's another one right there trying to push through.
Okay.
So when was this planted again?
Oh boy, around. Let me figure out exactly. It had to be April in the 20s somewhere. 24th.
24th. So you got a rain afterwards, but from April
It was cold.
it was cold. So the GDUs that we're getting were pretty low. So some of these are probably, I'm assuming, got moisture and being a year old might have lacked some vigor, but being that we didn't gain many GDUs for a 10-day period there, I'm assuming they were just sitting there. They weren't sitting in dry dirt. They were just slowly growing.
Okay.
Quite slowly.
I am amazed by how much has come up.
Yeah.
Now this row, I don't know what's. I mean, there is. Oh, wow. I was not expecting to see that either.
So when you see a row, so you've got trash cleaners on your planter,
Yep.
obviously. Are they just adjusting them with a pin, or are they
They're screw.
screws? So you can screw them down.
I had them like all the way down, and what happened was that this used to be a tire track,
Right.
and even though I had them screwed all the way down, it just wasn't quite enough.
So when you get into a tire track like that, you're lacking, probably, and you're planting into more residue, you're lacking some seed to soil contact. So it's going to
Yep.
take longer for those to germinate if they do.
Okay.
So when you get a chunk like this, there's probably seeds that are laying in residue itself.
Yep.
And it's amazing that most of them are actually still there.
This is blowing me away. 2 days ago, I was out here and I was scared.
See some of these, they're right there, like this one.
Yep.
Here's another one, 2 more right there.
Huh.
So they actually probably are going to make it.
Well, good. If I don't have to come out here and replant any more than I already kind of took the 4-0, and there were some pretty bad spots. I just kind of doubled up, but that makes you feel pretty good.
Yeah, so we can do a stand count, but looking at this, I'd say leave it alone. It looks pretty good.
So in terms of right here, we got these soybeans that have been up for a week.
Yep.
We got these ones that came up probably yesterday. Is there gonna be a big yield difference between those and soybeans like it would be corn or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I think they'll catch up
They
quite
don't
fast.
really care about that as much.
I don't think so, no. The difference between a day or two isn't going to make, or a week isn't going to make much difference. They're going to grow pretty fast here
Yep.
in the next 10 days when it really gets hot here
Yep.
in a week. So, but it just amazes me. Yeah, you get, some of these were probably in residue or underneath the residue, and they're still coming through. So, but yeah, you think about if you took a soil probe out here, or like a temperature thermometer from your kitchen, and you put it in this row, that's perfectly clean.
Yep. It's gonna be a lot different than.
And then put it versus right here where you've got varied in residue. There's probably quite a bit of temperature difference, especially during the days when it's warm out. So that probably explains part of it as well. It's just cooler soils versus warmer soils.
So in terms of the managing the residue in strip till, so like my corn head, literally pulled it out of a grove, does not have chopping stalks or anything, right? I mean, obviously you can see what it does. It just leaves all these. Do people like to have this kind of residue, or would it be better if I took a stalk chopper out here after I harvested?
In my mind, you're trying to thread the needle a little bit, because if you stalk chop it and make it really fine, it's going to move. But if you don't do anything, it's too big to really move it with a planter trash cleaner at all. So in my mind, if you could get even like a knife roll or something to even manage a little bit of the residue, get the stalk to a manageable level, but not to pulverize it to nothing where it moves around.
What if I got a stalk chopper and I set it high?
That'd be one way to do it, yeah. As long as they're not.
Because
if you get it
knife rolls are more expensive than the stalk chopper we got sitting in the grove right now.
I was gonna say, you probably find a stalk chopper pretty cheap, in an auction. But for me, you can't pulverize it too fine. Because even moving it in the ditch is one thing, but if you move it from right here to right here, that's what I'm worried about. Because
that's.
You know what I mean? Moving it from the middle of the row where you want to keep it into here, that's where it's going to affect the germination and the growth of that plant, especially early.
So obviously I've had issues where there were still, because he took most stalks out when he strip tilled, but there's places where he didn't, and which is, whatever, but that's where the stalks are all piling up. So I've kind of figured out I either got to take all the stalks down when I'm strip till, or leave them all standing. What's your preference? Because I know you like to kind of go right in the same row every year.
Yeah, I would say take them down.
Take them down with the strip till bars, try and go right down the middle of it.
And just pull them out and be done with it.
Okay.
It saves you a lot of.
That way you don't have a bunch of little snow fences out here.
Yeah, there's snow fences. And you think about the, it's hard on not that you have tires, but you have a track machine. But still, it's hard on tires running over all them stalks that are standing straight up. They're hard on stuff. So.
I'm hoping to get some. Stock stompers on the corn head this year, so at least I can lay flat. So
flat, yeah. That's hard on a set of tires, and those aren't cheap.
No, tracks aren't cheap either.
Tracks aren't cheep either, no.
I just want to take a gander at the one pass of no till I left here.
All right.
There was one guy.
He was still coming.
Okay.
I knocked him off wherever he was. Yeah, there he is.
I expect that to be compensated out of my bill.
Yeah, that's right. That's gonna break the farm this year.
Yeah,
a little bit thinner here, but still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And I think if even a day or two, you come out here once we finally get some warmth here.
I think there'll be a couple more
week,
popping up.
I think there'll be a few more that pop up, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the problem.
Yeah, you look at even like right here. See how he's still?
Yep. Still trying to push through.
Still pushing. There's another one right here.
Okay.
Still coming up. So they're
still coming up.
They're still trying.
Okay.
Which is amazing. Planted for April 24th. It's the 21st today.
Yeah, it's almost a month ago.
A month later, and it's still attempting.
So I did come out here for 4.0, which is going to make it harder, but yeah, this was an interesting experiment. I'm glad I only did one pass.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some in here. It's just kind of, that one just broke off really easy.
Yeah.
Barely touched it.
Yep. My hot take is that you see a lot of farm magazines and a lot of videos about doing no-till and how it's this really easy thing that you can do to save money. And I understand a tillage pass is not free to do, even if you own the machinery outright, but still costs you something. But it's not as simple as just not tilling and go planting next year. There's a different level of management that it takes to get it right. And I think that's sometimes a detriment, if you will, to the soil health movement. If they just say it's so easy. It's easy to a point, yes. There are other things you have to do to make it work. And I think that's one of these is getting residue away from the the seed trench.
And
it's more difficult than no-till.
And a lot of the problem that I had here too when I was planting was all these, same thing. I mean, there's a lot, I've knocked a lot of stalks down when I came replant with the 4-row.
Yep.
This was all standing stalks. And the rest of the field, all blew in here.
Yep.
And I was trying to go through 3 inches of husks.
Right.
Which was a problem.
And you look at this residue, if you're going against the row,
yep.
you're not moving that with a trash whipper. That's just too big. So that'd be where if you're gonna do less tillage or no-till, you gotta have fine enough where it doesn't blow, or thick enough so it doesn't blow, but fine enough you can move it.
Yep.
Because yeah, these big stalks, you're not moving with that trash cleaner.
Nope.
And look at the green difference between the strip till and the no-till.
Oh yeah, no, it's even here like this, so I think somewhere in here this is getting to the new seed. And even where there is some trash, there's so much more popping up.
Yes, yeah.
Or it's already up, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. See, all of a sudden you get into this trash.
There's some new ones popping up here yet too.
And they're still there. They're coming. You can see there's a hook on, or the hot collar on another one.
Putting all the weight on its shoulder.
Putting all the weight on its shoulder, yeah.
That's what my grandpa used to say. Soybeans.
Put your weight on their shoulder and push it up, yeah. I described it the other day as if you're going to punch a guy, corn to go like this up the ground, but you're going to go like this when you punch a guy, and that's how the soybean gets out of the ground. So,
I'm always amazed too, the corn, we got a little bit of crust, and a couple days later, those flimsy little leaves were all pushing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously you get too much crust, that's an issue, but...
Yeah, the will to live, and thank goodness for that rain we had. As hard as it came in some areas, not far from here. Yep. The rain we had on Sunday was a good thing. We needed that to break some of this crust and get some of these out of the ground. So we needed it. Yeah.
And then once it gets warm and dry again, I can start spraying everything.
I would for sure spray corn first. Yeah. Yep. For sure corn.
We'll do Leonard's first probably.
Yeah. And in terms of spraying beans, I haven't seen a weed out here. True. So I think you could hold off on the beans for a little while. Oh, there you go. Your Venus mallow. Yeah. You got one. Okay. You got one. All right, I stand corrected.
Funny.